Hey, this is Kevin with MCrider, where you can watch, decide, and ride. Welcome to our detailed breakdown of hearing protection on your motorcycle. So what do you guys think of my new intro? Man, it's all original to me. I wrote that this morning. Now, if you don't know where that came from, that is me doing a poor imitation of Anthony over at Revzilla. And if you missed out on Revzilla, you really need to go over there if you're in search of motorcycle gear or products. They've got, man, everything you could ever want for your motorcycle. They've got it at Revzilla. And what makes it really good is just about every product, they've got a very in-depth video explaining the ins and outs of it. And they're honest in their videos as well. I know they're trying to sell products, but if there's something about a product that they don't like, they'll let you know. So it's a company that I've come to trust. I'm an affiliate of. If you want to go to mcrider.com/Revzilla, you can check out everything they've got to offer. And you can watch some of the videos featuring Anthony and see how good my impersonation was. By the way, I couldn't do that all the time, and it took me 3 Red Bulls and a cup of coffee just to drum up that much energy for the intro. So I think I'll stick to mine for next time. So hearing protection, that's something that a lot of riders don't think about. And teaching a new rider class, a lot of people have never even taken that into consideration. But this week we're going to talk about hearing, how you can protect your hearing while you're riding a motorcycle. And I'll show you 3 options that I've ridden with. 2 of them I got a lot of experience with, and 1 of them I just ordered. And we'll talk about how I protect my hearing while I'm on the road. So in researching this video for you guys, I did some research on hearing protection with Osha standards, and Osha set standards for on-the-job kind of stuff. And the Osha standard says 85 to 90 decibels of sound should not be exceeded for more than an 8-hour period. If you jump that up to 100 decibels, they limit you to 2 hours of exposure at 100 decibels. You go from 100 decibels just up to 115, and they limit your exposure to that for 15 minutes. So about what do you think the average decibel rating riding a motorcycle down the highway would be? It's 103 decibels. So somewhere in between that 2 hour and 15 minutes that OSHA limits workers be exposed to, we're exposing ourselves to 103 decibels. And I've been on a bike the entire day, sometimes going on a longer trip. But if you limit your rides to 15 minutes, you're not getting too far with just 15 minutes at a time. So what can you do to protect your hearing now that we know there's a need to do so because of the decibel ratings we're exposed to on a motorcycle? So just 30 minutes of riding with your hearing unprotected is going to result in permanent hearing damage to your ears. That's permanent damage. It's something that you won't ever get back, and it doesn't matter what type of windshield you've got or what type of helmet you wear. It's the wind noise that gets to you in these situations. 30 minutes is going to result in permanent hearing loss that can never be recovered. The hearing loss is permanent, and to make matters worse, it compounds. So if I went for an hour ride today and let's say I lost 0.5% of my hearing, I do the same thing tomorrow, I lose another 0.5% on top of what I lost the day before. So it compounds and it continues to accumulate the more you ride with your ears unprotected. So what you can do to protect your hearing is to wear earplugs. I've been riding with earplugs for a lot of years. When I got back into riding, it wasn't something I knew anything about. I found an article about it, and I started riding with earplugs, and now I don't like to ride any other way. In fact, if I leave the garage and start the bike up, I've already got my helmet, all my gear on, realize I didn't put my earplugs in. That's the first thing I do is just shut the bike down, put those earplugs in. Not because I'm just wanting to protect my hearing, but it's so much more comfortable to ride with earplugs now that I've gotten used to it than it is without. So when I first started using earplugs, I went with those foam ones that you can find just about everywhere. the kind that you roll up and you get real thin, you insert it into the ear canal, and then it expands back out to block the sound coming into your ear. That's the kind that I started with, was those foam ones that you can find at Walmart. You can get them at sporting goods stores. I mean, they're all over the place. They work really well. They block a lot of sound. In fact, they probably block the most sound of any of the three I'm going to tell you about. And that can be a good thing or a bad thing, because you still want to be able to hear your motorcycle, hear some road noise around you, hear what's going on around you, so that you can continue to use your ears to be alert on the road as well. And one of the problems I found in using the disposable type was I could only get 2, maybe 3 uses out of it, and then it didn't want to roll up as easy. The foam would expand really quick once you rolled it up, so it made it hard to get in your ears after 2 or 3 uses. So I found myself constantly throwing a pair away after 2 or 3 uses and grabbing a new set. So I was constantly carrying new ones on my motorcycle in the saddlebags and having to remind myself to put a few more in there whenever I would go out for a ride. So it became a pain just trying to keep up with keeping new ones on the bike all the time. So the next thing I went with were some of the custom molded earplugs, and I've got a set here I'll show to you. They come in this case. They're I'm not sure what kind of material this is. Some kind of plastic molded material. Let me get that over where to focus. And what they do is they inject this into your ear canal. You sit there for 15 minutes while it cures up, and then they pull it out and they trim it up, and you've then got a custom molded earplug that is fits your ear canal, fitted perfectly for your ear canal. They're real easy to insert. You turn to the side, you just put it in like that, give it a little turn, and it sits in there, and then you've got your earplug in your ear. And they work really well. I would say they don't block as much sound as the foam earplugs do, and they're expensive. The earplugs, the foam ones, you can get at the store for $1. These at the motorcycle show are $50 or $60, so they're expensive. You can also get these made at a lot of gun shows. Some sporting goods stores will have the availability to get these made as well, but you can get them at motorcycle shows and rallies a lot of times, at gun shows, and sometimes at gun ranges, places like that. More expensive, $50 to $60, but these last forever. These earplugs you're looking at here are about 8 years old. I got these made at the motorcycle show, and they have been ridden with, I'd say, on a daily basis almost for the last 8 years. So they're still in really good shape, still work just fine. The downside is they're going to let a little more sound in than I'm comfortable with, but they fit well, and like I said, they last forever. In fact, I was in Colorado, and I stopped to look at a river, and on a dirt road in Colorado, I pulled these earplugs out and set them on the back seat, rode off, forgot about them. When I got back, got quarter mile down the road, I realized that I had left the plug sitting on the back seat. I rode back and found these sitting on a dirt road in the middle of nowhere out in Colorado. So it wasn't just the $50 or $60. I didn't want to face riding for any length of time without these earplugs. So once you get used to them, they're a lifesaver, and you won't want to ride any other way. So my next venture into earplugs was something I purchased actually for this video. I'd been seeing these on Amazon and heard about them. Thought I would check these out and order a pair for this review. Let me get this case open. They come in this really cool aluminum case. So this is what the earplug looks like. It's the silicone rubber type that's got the little ridges on it. And then it's got this little thing at the end to help you get the earplug out. But if you look, let me get up there closer. If you look at the end of it, it's got that a little plastic piece in there because it says that it allows some ambient noise through. So my experience in riding with them, I could hear my Tenere a whole lot better in riding with these earplugs. But most of the wind noise, in fact, I would say better than these plugs, so better than the custom molded plugs, these blocked out more wind noise. But I could still hear traffic around me. I could still hear the motorcycle a whole lot better. And I use a Sena Bluetooth, and I could hear the music and the radio much better with these plugs than these, though these are better than not wearing anything at all. So that's one thing some people ask about is, hey, I wear a Sena headset, or I listen to music sometimes when I ride. Does it block all that sound out? Actually, wearing earplugs is going to allow you to hear those kind of things better because you're not competing against the wind noise. So you've got the speaker against your ear. You're still going to be able to hear that well, but it's going to block out all that harmful wind noise. So these are, who are these made by? Let me pull the website. TrueFit Life is who makes these earplugs, and I'll have a link to this in the description. They're $23, about $23 at the time that this video was shot, and these are my new earplugs. These are the best combination of the two. They block more sound than the custom earplugs, and yet allow me to hear some of the road noise and traffic around me, and allow me to hear the Bluetooth better. But they block out a whole lot more of the wind noise than I can get with those. Not as much as the foam earplugs, but there's a lot of downside to the foam ones, constantly having to change them and those kind of things. These are washable. You can wash them in just warm soapy water, and reusable. You get 3 different sizes. There's a large, medium, or small. Mine came with a large setup, and that seemed to fit me well. But you also have a medium or small in there, and you can swap the attenuator, that little plastic piece that goes in there, if one of these other sizes fit you better. So if you're in a position where you're riding, for any length of time at highway speeds, I really want to encourage you to get something to protect your ears. Even if it's just a quick trip to Walmart to get some of those foam earplugs, they're going to work much better than nothing at all, because exposure to the wind at those speeds is going to cause permanent hearing loss. And you won't notice it at the end of a ride, but the cumulative effect of that will take its toll over time. And that's why you see so many old bikers that get off their bike and you say something to them and they don't hear a word that you're saying. And it's because of years of riding, they have lost hearing permanently due to wind exposure is the main thing. And your wind exposure in a full face helmet is going to be the same or similar to not wearing a helmet at all. And the type of windshield you've got doesn't make any difference at all. We're exposing ourselves to a lot of wind, and you need something to protect your hearing. This is the best that I've found so far, and this is what I'll be riding with from now on. But find something that works well for you and protect your hearing. Till next week, guys, this is Ken with MCrider, and we'll see you on the road.